Yo, we got 2 guests for our season finale of The Quad, episode titled Cage Bird. Check us out. We're about to show you who the guests are.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I'm expecting.
Let's buzz. Let's get it buzzing.
Everyone got into character.
I think we're all looking.
There we go.
It's a sad day.
It is a sad day.
Oh, man, come in my vocals.
Oh my gosh. Oh my. Deliver it.
I forgot the lyrics.
That's a perfect. Yeah. Welcome, guys. Welcome to The Quad. The season finale of The Quad.
Oh, I'm sad.
So sad. Episode 8/episode 10 called The Cage Bird, and we got 2 guests. But before we get to the guests, Ava, where can they find you on social media?
Oh. Hi, I'm Ava Hill.
You don't like my
find. I don't. Hi, I'm Ava Hill, and you can find me on Instagram at the Ava Hill or on Facebook at Ava Hill. And that's it.
I'll let you go first.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
hey guys.
jump.
I'm Lynneisha. You can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at Lynneisha_33.
Hey guys, my name is TK Trinidad, and as you've seen for the last 8 episodes or 10 episodes, depending on how you work it, these 2 ladies are still single. But I am here to facilitate, so you can find me at TK Trinidad on everything.
What's up, guys?
What's up, guys?
My name's DeAnJilo. I think I'm the lead host. Sometimes I'm not.
You don't really, right? Like you're just not sure.
But you can find me on social media at
Maybe
DeAnJilo
not.
TV or at DeAnJilo on Instagram. But anyway, we got 2 guests.
No.
What is this?
Throwing up
What
the
is
2s.
this?
You know what?
Okay.
Okay, cool. Anyway, but
I support it.
so first up, we got Mr. Sean Blakemore, who plays Coach Eugene Harlow. Native from St. Louis, he's also known for portraying Emmy-winning character Sean Butler on General Hospital.
Ooh. Hey now.
You can find him on Twitter at @Blakemore Actor. Yes. And then his name Sean Blakemore on Facebook.
Yes.
And our returning guest, like he liked us so much, he came a second time.
Jay.
Hey, when Jake Allyn makes a promise, he comes. Come on.
Right.
I appreciate it.
Comes through.
Also known for his roles on ABC's The Middle, and is a screenwriter for the film Expatriate. And of course, he plays our boy Bojan Fossum on The Quad. Thank you for joining us again.
Yes.
Where can they find you on social media?
You can find me at Jake Allyn85.
Oh, okay, cool. So, we had a show.
That's why we're here.
Yes.
Yeah. But where should we start? First of all, do you guys have any questions for our guest?
First off, thank you, Sean, for responding to my tweet.
She
and
tweets
thank
a lot.
you for. I mean,
Are you sliding his DMs too?
That's
So you do check your Twitter.
I said I know about Twitter and Facebook.
I appreciate you for joining us. I mean, you didn't have to do that, so we definitely appreciate you for coming in. And we do have some drinks for the finale, so
We're gonna pour it up.
yeah. While you're asking the questions, I'll pour and
appreciate
get our actors.
Teamwork. That's great.
Makes the dream work.
I have a question for you, Sean. You played in the episode and throughout the season. A big thing that we saw was dealing with like the rape scene or sex scene, more or less, in the show. For you personally, and then also for you as a character, was there a challenge in being on maybe the unpopular side at first when it came to the case?
Well, we had a discussion about my approach in dealing with that, and my whole thing was they were trying to tell 2 sides of the story.
Right.
I said, but what was important for me as a real person, and as well as that person as the character, so you can really identify this, because he wasn't a sleazebag, and it wasn't just about his players. He was a man with integrity. He was a grounded person, and so it was important for me that it was really simple. He wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt, and to believe in him, not just because he's his player, because at that time it wasn't enough evidence. It was just a he say, she say.
Right.
And my thing was, it was the whole approach of, well, let's find out more. Until then, let's not go dead on and accuse him. And so let's just, approach this in a civil manner. And so my whole thing was, I didn't want to come across as just a sleazy coach who just going to believe my boys because he's my boy. Right. I say it has to be justified. And then my character you know, when season 2 comes out. You know, he has 2 daughters. And so I said, that has to make sense. I said, you can't negate that. In real life, I have a daughter. And I have nieces, and I have 5 sisters. So in real life, you know, I have to identify that, and I couldn't just let that go without, you know, being accountable to that. So in telling that story at that time, in that timeline, that frame, it had to make sense for me to choose to believe him, because it wasn't enough to disbelieve him. But once the evidence was out, I said it's very important that I respond to that.
Right.
That I call him out. That I'm letting the audience know he's a liar, he's full of shit stuff.
You can go ahead. Go
Oh,
ahead.
fuck him. No,
Well,
Was it? Hey, isn't it also giving the parents the benefit of the doubt, the parents of the players? Since you talked about one of the lines that always stuck with me was, I promised all these kids' parents that I would take care of them when they gave you.
well, I was accountable. I was accountable to everyone.
Yeah.
You know, so it wasn't just the parents. It was just making sense out of the situation, because he just couldn't be guilty because someone said he was guilty.
Right.
But also, I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure that he stays on the straight and narrow.
Right.
And I'm gonna hold him accountable. Just like in the end, I see he wasn't on the straight and narrow, so my man, you gotta go. You know, because you're choosing to do what is completely unacceptable in society, and as a person, as a man, and definitely I'm you know, I'm disappointed, your parents will be disappointed, you know, but in the meantime, if you're playing your role and you're supposed to do what you're supposed to do, then I'm here for you. I'm gonna get you a lawyer, I'm gonna stick by you.
Right.
Everybody's against you, but I'm gonna stick by you. But it wasn't even an embarrassment for me as a character. It was a grave disappointment.
Right.
Because I took him on, you know, so it depends on your perspective. So you could play big brother, father figure, it could be whatever, but I put myself on the line for him. And so for him to look me in my face and knowing what he did, and I'm the person who's there for him more than anyone other than his parents.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, so
because you put your name on the line too.
Right,
You
exactly.
I put my
Yeah.
name and my
Yeah.
career
Right,
and
yeah.
my relationship
Everything on the line.
and everybody. So I'm like, if you don't go and put hands on you.
Yeah. Straight up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and that's interesting though, because we still, like, obviously, spoiler alert, he died. Terrence killed himself. How do you
Well,
think?
you ain't seen it.
I don't know what to tell you. How do you? There's still like gotta be a level of guilt, and like, I mean, you can't.
No
speak to-
guilt.
None.
Really?
None?
No, it wasn't a guilt thing. It was a pain of a loss. Because in real life, I would never feel guilty for someone who is taking other women's lives from them, and they take their lives. Me personally, I would have no feelings about that. But the pain and the disappointment is what these young ladies had to go through, the mothers and anyone that they're related to, and even him being lost. It's so disappointing. And then of course there is, because of the relationship that we had on the show, there's a grave disappointment of all his choices. And then him not being able to be a man and hold himself accountable, and for him to go to the extreme and take his life.
Yeah.
So that part was painful, to see any unnecessary pain in life be taken.
Yeah.
You know, whether it be his or the young ladies that he dealt with. But as far as guilt, no.
Well, I'm glad that was clarified, because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought,
'Cause
That's a
I
good
thought
question.
it was
Yeah.
guilt.
That's all right.
I honestly thought it was
Yeah, that
guilt,
last
but
scene, because
it's
he's like,
not.
oh, Jesus, or something
Right,
like that.
yeah.
So I kind of, that's
Because-
what I felt.
Right.
I didn't get that because I feel like you played the role so well, because as a coach, as a good coach, you are that almost that proxy of being a parent when your parents are not there, and especially being an athlete, having all these challenges and stuff like that. I've had some really great coaches in my past where you even today, like, I don't want to disappoint them. Like, the last thing I want is something to come out and then, I get that call, or like, and that's today, and I'm grown. So it's just kind of like you played that role so well that you did everything that you possibly can do, and we're in such a position in university where you're an adult. Like, you can make certain decisions. Yeah, you're gonna make faults and missteps, but certain things are almost like hard and fast truths. Like you're not going to rape a girl.
It's not like he doesn't care.
Right.
Right.
He cares, but he doesn't care more about this person than the ramifications of the
And what
choices that they've made.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
The pain of everything is what he felt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was just the disappointment and the pain of everything. And even this little boy, well, he's a young man, even the young man who just decided to be so reckless. And now he's taking his own life so unnecessary.
Yeah.
It's like almost like a cop out too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it was kind of like, man, this is so disappointing.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's like, man, like everything is to its extreme. So we talking about, you know, all taking it to the head. It was completely overblown, and you know, and just it was too much unnecessary pain.
Yeah. On the flip side, though, Jake, for you guys, there's some moments that the coach didn't see, just where Terrence tried to make an attempt to unite people around him, and I feel like indirectly feel like he has support for himself, and it didn't really. Even the scene in at the donation, I don't know, the fundraiser moment where they did the protest, he tried to give a speech, and I feel like the notion was it really didn't impact people or in the locker room where the fight happened.
Yeah.
How would you say for Bojan's character, like, it's such a fine line because you are also competing with him.
Right.
Like, what did that dynamic, or how did that dynamic feel?
Yeah, I mean, at least as the character, I found a lot of those actions were very self-motivated, in that I'm going to make this big speech to the whole banquet right before the big game and right when everyone's on me, as opposed to another time.
Right.
He's going to make the speech to the football team in the locker room, talk about how we need to win the big game, but he hasn't told any of us
What happened?
what happened.
Right.
I think that might actually come out and die. Like, why haven't you said it to us? We're supposed to be your brothers. You know, if he's the big brother or the father figure, then aren't we all your brothers then? Then why aren't you talking to us about it?
Yeah, at least deny it to everybody.
Yeah, so I think
that's how you felt.
Yeah, I think a lot of people on the team, and definitely my character, sees it as a little bit fake, as a little bit self-motivated,
Right.
and almost like a self-defense. Like, I'm in big trouble. Maybe if I get the team going, then it'll kind of die down. Like, I think he says at one point, like, "Oh man, I can't wait for this to die down."
Yeah.
And it's like, even that line, I was like,
Yeah.
I think
rape
Coach,
allegation to die down, you know?
Yeah, Coach saw that too. Coach saw that. Thank you.
guys do.
We got our
very
drinks.
nice.
Thank you.
'Cause we,
Coach
we
saw
gonna toast it up.
that, you know, he was self-motivated. It was about self.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, man, everything was kind of revealing himself. And, you know, one thing that the coach did not do, he didn't play favorites. He was always honest to whatever it is.
Yep.
Even with Bojan,
I was just going to say,
he came in with a bad reputation, and once I decided to give him a chance, I honestly decided to give him an opportunity.
Right.
And I told him, you got to earn it. I'm not giving it to you.
Right.
Because your potential, we all have potential for positive or negative. You have the potential to leave him be a killer. It doesn't matter. Everyone has potential. We're talking about your choices.
Yeah.
So that's why I was holding him accountable for it. I said, you got to be responsible in your process of your growth, and I'm going to watch you. So,
It makes that remind. Oh.
So my question is a little on the different side. Is there potential for Coach and Dr. Fletcher?
That is
We've talked about it. We've talked about it.
That might be the question of the season
Yeah.
that I see the
well,
most.
Talked about it a couple
BET
times.
did a,
Right?
they did a
here for
thing.
that.
Like a poll or something?
You see the poll? And so we're the ones that they wanted
Yeah.
us to be
Yeah.
together the
Yeah.
most.
Yeah.
Well, we did a video. No, I'm joking.
Wow. Speaking
Listen.
speaking of polls, that first scene.
Well, listen. Leave my name out of it. Yeah.
Oh, but Sydney, with the first scene we saw in the show.
Oh,
Dr. Eva
yeah.
Fletcher,
I
just was feeling
not
some type of way. At
all.
We were ready.
Right.
What I'm saying is,
I love it.
we receive.
Okay.
We're not selfish. We receive.
I was like, what are you talking about?
He said, where's he going? Where's he going?
All right,
Coach.
I mean, I would say.
I mean, she's Laurel from Dreamgirls.
Yeah,
like,
it's just there's a. But I'm gonna have a question for you guys. I mean,
No
it was
pun
a really,
intended. Dream girl. No pun intended. Hey, she had a dream.
She was dreaming.
she okay, all right.
It was all a dream.
Isn't that kind of the point of the scene, though?
Right.
Is that this woman who's so put together and things like that sees herself
Can have a
as
freaky side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Put together women can have a freaky side.
I'm sorry. Let's hold on a second. Let's correct this. First of all,
she's growing, folks. She's growing.
whether you're in denial or not, everybody got a freaky side. Of course.
Yeah.
So, but that's not the point.
Lady in the street.
That scene, it was just so
Freaking the
absurd. I
sheets.
just remember hearing one of the actors he yelled, "No, that's presidential." And I was like, "That's just too." It was just too much for my heart. Like I couldn't seeing her like that was kind of like really
It
wild.
hit me too.
Yeah.
Princess Tiana, like.
But it's
But I think that's
It's
what's
symbolic.
hurting her heart.
Yeah,
her
'cause I feel like-
nightmares.
yeah.
that she
Symbolic
feels
for what
she's
she's
being
going through.
degraded down to.
Exactly.
Right, like
and
that's
also
how
her
she's.
choices and how she's putting herself out there and all
Yeah.
the men that she's been involved with
Right.
and even how
All
other
the
people
men
perceive
she's
her.
It's
Well, no,
true.
look on the show.
No, but
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it's
So-
true. It's facts.
so-
Kind of.
It's facts.
Yeah,
I was
so
gonna say
it-
they kind of zoom in on each character in that moment to see like their
Like,
reaction
how they're
to
right,
her.
right.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
so.
But you weren't. We didn't see.
Yeah,
you.
notice
I think
the
and I was
coach
very
is not in the
particular.
room.
It was very,
Oh.
maybe
But were you,
just know-
but were you in the back?
I was in the
Sure.
VIP room.
He was there for after. He was there for after. No, I think.
I was at the AFTERBUZZ.
Oh, okay.
No.
I think
Okay.
the people, because we didn't see Jasmine Guy's character. We didn't see people who have
I don't think
probably
was Diamond even there. I don't think Diamond was there either.
No, and which I think was really interesting. People who I guess,
respected, or?
yeah, or a level of integrity with their relationship with them. Diamond, I don't know, but especially your character and Jasmine Guy's character, like people who are kind of looking out for her. We didn't see
Yeah, I
that
was like
they're-
on her side a little
Yeah.
more.
And I really like
I
that.
think it's just
People should
like
be
you said,
real with
their whole approach.
Yeah.
You know, because for me, in our character, you know, has never been my agenda. So what happens or what may happen.
Doesn't that bring your
You see the side, you saw the
It's like you were
pause.
laying the brickwork though.
All I'm saying is
Brick,
Yeah.
just dropping the
everything,
brick.
You was
everything
laying
is
the work a
more.
little
No,
bit.
you putting the foundation
Yeah.
on there. You were laying the bricks. I saw it. You were
I'm
laying.
laying what?
You were laying the bricks. You're putting the foundation down.
That's a new
But
one.
what about the gap that's been created because of the sexual assault?
Yeah,
I mean, is that something that can be?
Actually,
Yeah.
that's a good
Yeah.
point. That's a good point,
No,
though.
he cleaned up.
Because y'all are on
But the
tough
thing about it
terms.
is, that makes for good story.
Mm-hmm.
What makes for good story for any friendship or romance is the
Conflict.
journey.
Yeah.
And in the journey,
Oh, okay.
Now,
You know what
now
I'm
you need to
notes.
listen. Ava.
Listen now.
Take
How
some
did
notes.
this get on me?
but
You
it
on my
is.
laptop,
It's,
Yeah.
so you talking about laying the bricks, but it's about
Like laying the.
those simple things. When you say I like or dislike a food, it's through your experience. You can only speak with conviction through your experience.
Right.
And so, as our relationship developed into whatever direction that I'm not telling you,
That you will tell us.
Tell us after. Don't tell. We don't want to spoil it for the
you
fans.
want to
Okay.
hear after my show?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, but that makes it interesting, and because what you want is people to be invested.
Right.
Otherwise, you don't care.
Well, we are
Yeah,
invested.
we are. Yeah.
I think another thing too that made a big difference is, despite the fact that at one point you were on Terrence's side, the base of it is that you're a man of integrity.
Right.
So
Right.
even if that was an issue for her, and then of course Terrence committed suicide, all this other stuff, there's still going to be a window because you didn't come
Right.
off like a sleazebag. So there's like, okay, this is a man of integrity that I know if anything were to go down, that he'd be there for me.
She got to
Yeah.
get through her mess, right?
And
now
willing,
anyway. She got a lot
willing to
going on.
drop his position behind Terrence the second he realizes
Right.
Exactly.
that he isn't so innocent.
Right.
Right.
So
That's
we
good.
can just
That's
predict
true.
that there's going to be some type of
Oh, I know that there's something
relationship.
cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
I know.
Oh.
And they could, I wonder if they might both be feeling a bit of the same thing after the suicide. Is Anika's character necessarily feeling super guilty that her daughter's rapist committed suicide? Probably not, right?
Right.
As you said, you don't necessarily feel guilty that this terrible person who did a terrible thing committed suicide against himself, but there's also this feeling of tragedy from both
Right.
faculty members at this school with one of their children.
This tragedy can bring people
Right.
together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
It
Exactly.
can.
Right.
Note the
It
time.
can.
We can encapsulate this for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all
It can.
spitting wisdom
Yeah.
out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next,
Sorry, I do have one question. At the banquet.
I think I'm lead host. I don't
Right.
know. Maybe.
Oh,
At
I'm
the
messing.
banquet.
I'm messing.
I know where you're going.
drinking on
The chick
that.
that you're with, is that the is that your
That's his
girlfriend?
girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, because she looks a little different.
Yeah, well,
I
I
didn't
mean, she
remember
hadn't seen me
that.
for a couple
Where was
months.
that?
She knows I'm doing well there. I think she wanted to look as pretty as possible.
Okay,
Oh,
but you've been feeling.
Yeah. Did you guys see Taisha? I mean, she looked pretty good at the banquet.
Look at that. We're gonna get
So
She had to try
are
to
you
compete.
gonna be dipping in some chocolate in the next season?
Oh, did what?
That's very. That's so descriptive.
I get that every day.
That was a. I got a video when you said that. That was
Great. So
what?
it's been a great show. My name is
That's a
Eva.
wrap.
I have no control.
Oh,
She's
goodness.
Are you gonna dip in chocolate? I mean, ask a question.
Hold on a second. I'm interested.
Man, I really don't like. It's gonna sound so corny. Like
He's
I don't see
blushing.
color, but like I like beautiful, strong-minded like
You
women.
almost said beautiful, strong black woman.
Yeah, strong-minded.
I'm so glad he's here.
Right?
I was about to say,
You guys rib each other. He ribbed me.
I was about to say, my man.
You know what? You've earned your card, and there's a
Yeah, it's okay to say it.
on a different on other note. We kind of know. I'll break it down. White folks, we know when you're down, and you're one of the white people who are down. So you're
okay.
good. You can say beautiful black women.
First of all, we know that off rip.
Yeah.
Off top, we know.
Yeah.
But no.
You and Madison definitely.
Especially.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
we loved
yeah,
it when
yeah,
she came.
yeah.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
came. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Michelle.
Point is, speak
Michelle.
the truth.
Michelle.
Wonderful,
Madison
wonderful,
Michelle.
wonderful.
Madison.
Yeah, she
Madison
was so
Michelle.
sweet.
And like when we talk about, this is kind of like not what we're talking about, but we, in relation to everybody being cool, these are real relationships, like real kindred. That's why it works so well on film, because we really get along and we laugh.
Yeah,
and
they
we joke.
cast
That's
it
good,
very,
yeah.
very, very well.
And we do. Like,
That's
Yeah.
good to have those
And I love that they
relationships.
gave so many new actors a platform too. I loved that.
Yes,
That
ma'am.
was amazing.
I
Introduced
said
a
that
lot
to
of
Rob
people.
Hardy that I was so happy that you gave so many new
So many new
actors
actors a chance, you
And
know.
you need that.
I tell you what,
Right.
on set, I really felt like all the I could call us kids on the show. All the kids on the show are extremely, extremely motivated by all the adults on the show.
Right.
By getting to act with Sean or with Ruben or with Anika. You know, we're extremely motivated by the work they've already put in the industry and the work that they're doing every day on
Right.
set. And I think hopefully vice versa, they see like this young
That they're
energy
working
of
hard and that
we'll
they
do
want
anything
it,
to
right,
make it
yeah.
work. You know,
It's all about the hunger.
yeah,
you know?
exactly.
It
So
really
I
is.
think
It's
it really
about the
fed well.
respect of the process.
Right,
Yeah.
and it makes
So
the
it
energy
doesn't
so much
matter
better.
where you are, your first time, or
Right.
your 100 gig. As long as you respect the process,
Yeah.
magic can be made.
Yeah.
And I love that. I
Ooh.
love that everyone had a
Oh,
fair
nice.
shot
That was a
to.
good
Yeah,
one.
you were really.
Yeah.
He drops
Yes,
knowledge
yeah.
on a
Have you
daily
thought
basis.
about,
Yeah, I
you
like
know,
that.
have you thought
That's
about
a-
like, you know,
Salute.
psychology,
Yeah.
like
You actually you need to
maybe
use
like
your Twitter and
Iyanla
tweet
Van
these things
Zandt,
out.
maybe like a spin-off on its
tweet
own.
these
Like,
thoughts.
what's good? Do I need to
Just
pitch
gave like
this?
5 of them.
No, hey,
Yeah.
just listen.
Just take, I'm like,
Take it
I'm
all
taking
away.
all of this in
Yeah.
right
You're
now.
blessed
You like
tonight.
drop jewels. You got to
Yeah.
pay attention though. Like, you
Well,
better
I don't
focus.
He'll drop knowledge. Just
Yeah. Did he do this on set?
yes.
Oh, I
wow.
love it. Yeah.
I'm
these-
He would get annoyed at me knocking on his trailer. Just talk.
Yeah.
I said, I'm trying to zip on my pants, man. What are you doing? He's like,
That's
only,
hilarious.
he said, only be a second.
That's
And I open up the door, he's like, oh my God.
Wow. It took me.
Thank you guys for
Take away his alcohol. He don't need it.
Take that away.
Only had a
Okay.
sip.
Actually, do you want more? I'm loving this.
No, man, it
We'll
was
turn
such
up.
beautiful, and I can't wait to work with these guys
Becomes
again
so
because it'd be
fun.
insane for us not to come back for a second.
Yeah, it would,
agreed.
because the show is so
like
good
Yeah.
and captivating. And like you said, those relationships, you guys have those relationships, and it shows on camera.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, the chemistry is awesome.
Hold on, don't you guys love the trio?
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
No,
I have a soft part for
No.
Junior. I love Junior.
I don't.
Why not?
Why not?
Because
Oh,
I
God,
just,
here we go.
I support it, okay?
I don't think she's a big Taisha fan. The way she.
Why?
I just
Oh,
think that
'cause
she
of how
plays
she kind of-
games.
Oh, God.
We're back to
Yeah, we're
that.
back to this again.
Back to that.
I thought we came
I'm
so
gonna
close.
grow. I'm gonna evolve. I'm open, okay? I'm open.
Okay, so how this issue started was Noni and
Ebony.
Ebony.
I got you.
So there's a whole issue. So obviously you know what happened.
There's a whole
happened.
issue.
You know what
I
happened.
told you guys.
Right, you know what happened, and then we thought that Noni did what she needed to do. She had the opportunity. The only thing that we thought that she should have contacted Ebony.
Yes.
That was her thing.
Yeah.
She was like, no, she shouldn't take the position whatsoever, which has started our 9 episode beef, which is like, oh, you're so cute. life,
Do you agree?
learn. You know,
Do you
it's not
agree?
Disney.
Should she have not
But
taken
do you
the position?
agree?
Let me say this. Her process of doing it was wrong.
Right.
Bingo.
Because she did it so thirsty.
No.
Listen,
Right,
listen,
right.
listen to him.
Process,
Listen to him.
not-
Would you have taken the position?
I mean, the position is open.
Taken.
The position is open.
I'm just a
And
loyal person.
but listen,
Okay.
but you can't be loyal to your own
She's
death.
loyal to her beef.
Yeah.
You can't be loyal to your own death because it works vice versa. The girl should have said, "Listen, I'm not there. I know you how bad you want to get it. You got to get it." And but she should have said, "Listen, I'm going for this spot."
Yeah.
Okay,
They don't even know each other
I got
really.
it.
There's no loyalty.
I was gonna say that because
This
then
is
once
a
we
brand new relationship.
Yeah, they're freshmen. They just met.
And she knows how bad this girl wants it. Somebody has to fill the spot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Wasn't she in not a coma, but she was going through like brain surgery when
was.
the spot
She
was
was in a
open.
coma.
But there's
Right,
So
so
she
she couldn't
could.
really wake up and be
But
like,
there's-
"Hey, girl, you can take my
There's a
spot."
point.
Right.
There's a point where Cedric came into the room and said, "Have you spoken to her
Right.
recently?"
But she wasn't honest in the process.
Right.
Yeah,
That's the whole
exactly.
issue that we had, and this is the
Because-
beef that
But she did lie. Her biggest lie. What you think her biggest lie was? You know what it was?
Ooh. No. Educate us, coach.
Right? Let
Her
us know.
biggest lie.
Was
Oh, what do you think?
I think it was what she did to Ruben, that she
Okay.
turned her back on who she says is her
Let's go trip you out.
mentor.
What do you think?
I don't know.
I think
I have no idea.
You obviously know.
I want to know.
I feel like I'm being thrown for a
I think
loop.
maybe the lie she told is at the end when she told Ebony why she really did it.
Yeah,
That might
that's
not
what
have
it
been
might have been.
that was a lie.
That's a complete
Yeah.
lie. She was. It was all self-motivated.
Yeah.
But that was the lie she told to
In
seal
order
the
to
deal with her.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's not why she did it.
You notice the wisdom. Just-
Oh, now you want to be. You want to him.
I mean, when she's not here, I'm gonna just say
You don't think she was
Just a
playing the
little
long
bit. She wants
con
to be
all
grown.
along?
no.
No.
That I don't. Yeah.
No. No.
So see,
But it did work. It worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
know,
think
Listen,
she just saw opportunity.
Listen, she's brilliant at playing the beat. Meaning, she's a moment in this moment. She's always on her feet.
yeah, you see,
But it's
you have
always
to
to
watch
her
her.
advantage.
You gotta
Yeah.
No,
watch
she's
her.
slick.
I don't talk to
Yeah,
the
she is,
marching
yeah, she
band
is
geeks
slick.
too much. So.
We out there
I'm
playing
not too
ball.
worried
You know
about
what I'm saying? We out there playing ball. You know?
There's no time for that
Fair.
gridiron,
HBCU,
man.
the marching
Fair.
band is more important.
No, we ain't playing no flute. We out there hitting,
Yeah.
cracking heads. You know?
We're playing no
In that case, go Ducks. Just
Anyway.
just saying.
Wait, let's get to Cecil. He had two important interactions. More importantly, the one with drum major Danny. Did you have any emotions towards that interaction?
I don't know. See, Ruben messed me up because I met him and now I actually like him. So I can't hate Diamond the way I used to hate him. So it's very difficult now. Like, he's such an amazing person and an amazing actor. Like, I didn't expect him to be like, a douche in person, but he's such a great guy. And how he flipped, like, you have to watch the interview, like how he flipped it on one of the audience members. It was just like, oh man, like,
It's a very smart actor.
yeah, I was like, I really like you. So now it's really hard to dislike
let's
him.
base it on his character alone.
It's hard now. I can't separate it. Like, I mean, I could separate it. Like, I can appreciate his acting, but because I like him so much, it's hard to like hate him. Like, I can dislike him. I dislike his character, but it's hard. Like, before I met him, I was like, I was really hating him. But now it's like,
Let me respond. If I would have did the same thing Ruben did, because let's just take him personal as his character. You know his process it took him to get that song,
Right.
and so basically you pour everything that's personal, and at the pivotal point in your life, you got cancer. You're trying to build a relationship with your sister. You hate your father. But all of that is in that song. And you tell this dude,
And you're
guard
willing
this
to
with
show
your
it to the
life.
world.
You don't do nothing. You
Right.
guard this with everything.
Right.
And matter of fact, you guard it so much, we're not gonna do it. I'm not downloading this. You make copies.
Right.
And you pick up those copies. But he was irresponsible because what did Noni say?
he left his phone.
He always leaves.
Yeah.
Notes, phones. He was irresponsible.
Yeah.
So at some point, you got to pay the piper.
That's what he said in the scene too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm talking about there's no real excuse.
Right.
That's
You know
not-
what I mean?
Even if she did
I don't
steal
care
it,
if
it was you that was
It was
supposed
your
to protect
responsibility.
it.
So
Yeah.
I mean, how
That's
many
true.
ways I'm gonna
I
let you
don't-
go?
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, here we go.
Hey,
Here we go.
What's your stance?
Oh,
Here we go.
How you feeling, Ava?
what do you got?
Oh, look at this before you say something, because like I'm just saying, note the dates,
Okay,
read it.
I'm reading.
Now read it out loud. This is on my Twitter page from August
Oh, here
2016.
she go. Oh God.
In
The
August?
world
We're
is
quoting something
not-
she said before. She wants to be referenced.
Just listen to it. Just
Oh, okay.
okay.
The world is not interested in excuses. only results.
Quote TK Trinidad.
2016
Twitter.
August.
Poetic.
Okay.
Wow. I don't. We should. Let's leave. That's it. What else?
Hits nail on the head.
Just
I
some,
mean,
just
you
some.
know.
What do you have to say?
What do you have to say now?
No, you know what? I support it. I'm just gonna
Ooh.
support it.
Okay.
So
I'm
you
growing.
would
I'm
have had a
evolving.
different approach.
She would have.
Why do you say that?
Because
I'm intrigued.
Because
Enlighten me.
And also that it's Noni involved. I feel like you would have taken the opportunity
Yeah,
to
you
possibly
should've-
get back
I
at
guarantee
Noni or
you.
something.
What's old boy? The who's asking for
The
forgiveness?
drum major, Danny.
Danny Brown.
I guarantee you. The bottom line is, if you were in Ruben's shoes and traveled his journey, you wouldn't be passive. You can't be, because if you gave someone the keys to your house and said you're responsible, my life is in there, and somebody came in and stole everything out of there, and the only way they can get in there is that one key. So you try to tell me, you would tell that person, hey man, it's okay. We all make mistakes.
Ooh.
You didn't have to come at me like that. You know what I mean? Like you didn't have to.
You be careful with him. You never know.
Computer down. Like, okay now. Like,
No,
damn.
but
No, I
seriously.
mean, no, that's a great point.
Because
No,
That's a
yeah.
great
he
point.
he gave him his life.
Yeah.
His life. Man, it's almost like I can almost forgive anything, but not this. I gave you everything.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I've evolved.
So at some point you gotta, hello.
Has she evolved, Jake? Because you saw her a couple weeks ago.
I think she kind of just bowed down to the Sean wisdom for sure.
Listen,
Gotta know.
that's growth. If you could say, I receive and okay, cool.
Yeah.
I said, that's growth.
I'm always down for growing. You know.
Okay. Are you down for going to Venice?
That's something we don't know
Domino's,
about that.
I'm
Sorry,
okay.
guys.
Honestly,
I feel bad.
I'm down to go to Venice. I've never been.
Okay.
You've never been to Venice.
Well, so, Coach.
My mom's
whole
best
problem.
friend's daughter lives in Venice, so of course I know a lot about it, but I've never been. So I'm
Your mom's best friend.
my mom's best
daughter.
friend's daughter also lives in
trying to-
Venice.
God.
All right, hold up. Where do you live, Jake?
Where do I live? I live in Venice Beach.
Oh.
Coincidence?
Can you please enlighten? Because he's just. Can you?
The liaison.
They really, really want us to hang out in Venice.
They really, really do.
Saying.
They really do.
Not a bad idea.
That's really not. What do you think, Coach?
I think it's a good idea.
That's 4 people.
I'm
My coach
open.
approves. It's all good.
If we
done
say
now.
coach,
Yeah.
then.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, Jake, I'm open. I'll go to Venice.
Ooh, say that again.
I'm open. I'll
salute
go
to
to
that.
Venice.
Salute. Salute.
Get a talk for that.
Yeah, we
I'm out.
I was going to say something terrible, but I was going
I would love to go to Venice.
I could have went a whole lot, but I didn't go to. You know,
She's evolved. She's evolved. She's ready to go to Venice.
I would absolutely
Can
love
we
to go to
please just
Venice.
end there? Please. Nothing else.
My work is complete.
That's it. What else can you do? I literally don't think there's anything.
Do you guys want photos or you
Yeah,
know?
Yeah, we-
videos.
we rather do video.
Yeah, video.
But we have to do Facebook for Sean. Since
We got
Chat.
the Twitter. We
No,
got the
chat was Snapchat.
That's cat?
Come
No,
on, man.
that way you can show me how it works.
Oh.
You
Yeah,
guys
so
have anything you want to add? Or do you got anything?
Is it just done on that note? I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
I'm
My
No, we
job is
really are.
done.
I'm
they feel
overwhelmed.
like they
I'm
are
done.
Yeah,
they have
I've done.
There's
completed
nothing
their
else to do.
I mean,
long mission.
I'm
I
not
would
being
just,
dramatic.
I would have one there. I would just say if anyone hasn't gotten to see the show yet, it's on BET.com. It's on online and streaming now.
yeah.
And I would strongly suggest catching up. And we
Yeah.
I'm
we
so
didn't listen to
Yeah.
sad.
And do
Right.
not
This
try
is
to start
over.
in the middle of the season.
Yeah, go.
No,
Oh yeah,
start
you have to
at
start at the
the
beginning.
Again, that's
You
the
wanna
journey.
appreciate
You want to
it.
appreciate
Yeah.
it exactly, and
Yeah.
you got to
Also,
start from the top.
Leave comments as always on our YouTube and SoundCloud.
I'm so
and
proud of you
iTunes.
guys. It was a really, really great season.
Yeah.
It was.
So I'm
It was.
just
Ratings, yes.
I'm claiming it. You guys will get a season 2.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, it's just
Cool. Where
great.
can they find you on social?
I have
What you got
I've
first?
got,
Go ahead.
got a couple.
Go ahead. Please go.
First, shout out to BT.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
shows. Like, I mean, you guys are.
BT's
Going
really
in.
How about
revamping.
just the
Yeah.
courage to show everything
Yeah,
that we showed
right,
and
yeah.
tackle
So-
those topics.
Show
I need some more to
everything.
drink.
Also, shout out to BET for allowing those episodes to be on the web. You can access that. Like everybody's charging for everything, which is fine, but you can access a lot of their shows and it's free. So shout out to that. Also, shout out to the guests, y'all, for coming in.
Thank you for
Appreciate
coming.
it.
Thank you for coming twice.
And
Yeah,
Jake.
Jake.
Well, you know. Venice.
We gave you a payoff, so
Yeah.
you're happy now. Thank you for your services.
I mean,
Cheers.
I'm dead serious, so don't.
No,
think
we're doing it.
This is
TK serious.
I mean, I will confirm.
Well, you know,
Can we?
Venice
yeah.
it is.
Yeah. All right,
Okay.
cool.
So my
I got some
job is done.
recommendations for
happen.
some spots too for you guys.
Okay. Well, I mean, Jake lives
Jake
there.
lives
so-
there.
Yeah, if you don't.
He lives
Don't,
there.
man.
don't
Right, you
assist.
should know, right?
See,
yeah.
Next he's gonna try to come with us, man.
a resource.
Listen, hey,
Nice.
he gonna do what Big Miles did in the show. Okay, cool. I'll
Big
come-
Miles.
I'm trying to be a resource and helpful.
He's gonna show up so where we going.
I
have a
support
date
what you were
with me.
trying to do. I support what you were trying to do. I see where you were trying to go. I support it.
She's a good supporter.
She's
I am.
I
I'm a
mean-
very loyal person. I just would just do right. You know
And
what
she
I
has
mean?
master degrees, so just you know.
I do.
Is that
She's
plural?
also an actress.
I saw your eyebrows go up.
right.
This is
I have one master's degree.
Yeah.
I graduated in media studies from the New School in New York.
Look at that confidence.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
And she said,
She knows.
in media studies. Yeah,
Very
I
nice.
Yes.
did musical theater for a long time, and I was
confirm
like
this.
tired of being
Yes.
poor.
This is
So
true.
grad school it is.
I mean,
She's smart.
I don't know if
And
you.
she's attractive.
Oh my god.
Oh, that was an exit song.
What the?
I have been trying to get them off. Josh and Angela, I've been trying to get them off. They will not go off. Ava, where can they find you?
You
on
can
social
find me
media?
on Instagram at the Ava Hill and on Facebook if you ever go. I know you don't go.
Where can they find, where can they find you?
Oh, I love it.
If you are single and need help, TK's here for you. Where can they find you?
Yes, she's great. She will put you in situations that
Again, can TK say?
yes.
You can
ahead.
find me on everything at TK Trinidad. Thank you guys for rocking with us. Keep 5 stars on the iTunes.
We love
and
each
also
other.
all on the YouTube comments. Shout out
What
to
song
Black
are they
Jones.
playing?
I
What
do
is
love
I
you.
will always love you.
Shout out to Black Jones and Cassandra for doing the live chat with us. Really appreciate it.
Yes, I'm Lynneisha, guys. Thank you for hanging out with us with this episode or this season of the Quad, and thank you to our guests and Jake for coming again. You guys can find me on Instagram
I
and
don't
on
have a
Twitter.
name.
Sean.
Yes,
Sorry, Sean. No,
Guest
just
number
say
one.
thanks for Jake. Jake
Lynneisha
came
will be
twice.
featured
Yeah,
on
but
the
because he came twice, he
Thanks
used
for
his
Sean
name.
Blakemore for coming.
Thank you.
I always get more love when I come twice.
See.
Shut down.
Oh my God.
Find me on Instagram and Twitter.
All right, we're gonna sign off. Who cares where you can find me? Thank you for checking us out for the rest of the season. See you guys next season. Thank you guys for coming.
I can't with
See you
this
guys
song.
later.
I cannot with this song, you guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz. Watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions. Be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.